Hey, I got my coffee, I got my cucumber, and now I'm ready to tell the whole world what I'm gonna do this year. Because apparently people care, I guess. Wow, how lucky I am that all these people want to look at me and listen to me. That's pretty scary. Hey, welcome to the annual-ish update video, I guess. This is the second time I've recorded this. I actually recorded this earlier in the month, and I went to edit it like last week. And I was like, you could tell I was really annoyed. I was like really like grumpy the whole time. I kept going off topic. I didn't have any notes. It was like, this is a terrible update video. I'm gonna re-record this. The reason I was annoyed is because I just put out my new indie platformers video featuring Corn Kids and lots of more awesome indie platformers that I've been playing, and it didn't do very well at all. And YouTube told me that it had the regular click-through rate, but way lower views, which means it didn't put it in subs, and it's frustrating when YouTube just doesn't do what it's supposed to. So before I start, I want to quickly plug the last video I did. I worked really hard on it. Like, I really tried to get across how exactly it feels to play each of these games. And doing that for 4 different games was really cool. I have like the green screen controller shit going. So if you want to see what I just did, I did put out a video. A lot of people, I don't think, got it in their feeds. Just letting you know that exists, as well as the top 10 raddest games of the year video. I thought I was going to start doing those things, like lower effort, less editing. But this year, I just wanted to really put together like a really good one, showing a whole bunch of awesome stuff I've been playing, as well as like doing the more traditional like top 10 countdown. And I actually worked really hard on that and ended up coming out way later in the month. But it also didn't do very well. So if you missed the last 2 things I made, there they are. Is that a card? Is that a card? I don't know how this works. You can figure it out, I'm sure. You guys are smart, right? You know, it really sucks. But I can work really hard and stuff, and it just like bombs, and then I make like way less money that month, and then like rent shit has to become stressful. And it has been like really difficult these past 2 months because those 2 videos underperformed. Same thing happened last year, and it's like, you think I learned from my mistakes, but it's like, is it a mistake to make what I want? Apparently it is. I don't know, it's all just really frustrating. Bottom line is, I'm really sorry about this, but I'm going to monetize this update video this year, which I don't think is fair. I don't think people should have to sit through ads just to hear, like, my plans for the year. But last year, this update video did better than the Raddest Games video and the Indie Platformers video. So it's like, why is this the thing I put out that does well? So it's like, I kind of can't afford not to do it this year, just unfortunately because of my current financial situation. I'm really sorry about that again, but I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, let's get into what I'm going to be talking about. This is basically a video to let you know what I'm planning on doing this year, kind of what I thought of my output last year, how I'm doing, my mental health and all that stuff, and then I'll probably talk about my cats, because I always do. People seem to like that. I don't know. So let's start by talking about my plans for this year. So this year is actually a really big deal. This year is going to be a really big, exciting year for videos for me. Now, I don't mean that I'm going to be putting out a lot of videos, but I want to put out like a handful of really long ones about games I really care about. Basically, I want to make all the videos I've been wanting to make for a long time. So for my 10th anniversary, the next video I'm putting out, and this is the one I'm working on right now, it's about like half done, I'd say. I'm getting through it. Is a brand new review of Star Tropics. Well, it's not really a review as much as it's like, I mean, I don't even get to the game until like 12 minutes into the video, because the first chunk is just me explaining the story. Just really in detail the story of my experiences growing up with the NES, so that was my first console, and how basically Star Tropics was the first video game that like really impressed me and really stuck out to me as a kid, and even reading the manual and seeing like the illustrations in it and everything. And the Star Tropics was actually the first game I ever made like a review type video about. 10 years ago when I first started this channel. So it's like, I still really care about that game. That video is kind of like short. It's not great. It was the first thing I made. I want to do another really big Star Tropics video that not only very intimately gets across like my personal connection to it, but also really takes you through the whole thing and completely gets across like why this thing is so cool. From like the gameplay to like, you know, how it's kind of unconventional, yet it's something that I can make sense of. Hornet, what are you doing? She was just, oh, she was screaming at the door, just wailing. What's the matter with you? She gets uncomfortable when she like can't get to where I am because I have the door closed for recording, but you're an obnoxious little freak in here and you rub your face over everything and you make it so I can't get my recordings done. I love you, but you gotta settle down. where was I? Star Tropics, right. So it's basically going to be this really big, at least an hour-long video, taking you through the entire game, getting across, like, the gameplay, why it's so cool, but also acknowledging how it could be frustrating to some people or maybe difficult to interact with, but by extension, how in doing that and being designed that way, it ends up being more for people. So, you know, I do sometimes dip my toes in, like, a narrative with some videos, and I guess the narrative with this one would be, like, you know, not all games should be for everybody sort of thing. Yeah. It's going to be a really exciting video, especially, like, the first 12 minutes is going to have a lot of great shots. Like, there's this one part where I'm talking about growing up with the original Final Fantasy on NES, and I couldn't really read much yet. I haven't done this yet, but what I want to do is I want to record some Final Fantasy NES footage, and I want to, like, edit the text so, like, half of it is, like, symbols and gibberish that you can't understand. So when I'm, like... And I'm gonna, like, put it on this TV, and I'm gonna have, like, the 12mm wide shot, like, down, so it's, like, my perspective looking up at the TV, like, when I was a kid. Like, this is what I was looking at, basically, where I'm reading the text, and only half of the words I can read. Because, like, I was playing NES games so young, I could only read, like, half the words. I want to try and get, like, that across in really, like, fun, filmy ways. So, yeah, this Star Tropics video, hopefully it'll come out before the end of the month, if not early April, but it's going to be, like, a very, very fun, well put together video that I'm working real hard on, and I think I'm gonna be pretty proud of it. Really want to tie a ribbon on one of my favorite games, so this is going to be, like, the definitive Star Tropics video for me. Now, I wanted to do Star Tropics 1 and 2 in the same video, but if I'm gonna cover them both, I have to cover them in detail. And the video's already gotten... Hornets? What are you doing that for? She's climbing up my computer desk and trying to knock over that jar of nuts. I'm a big peanut guy. One thing I've done to try and make myself not feel like garbage all the time is, instead of snacking on potato chips, I've been snacking on peanuts. Get them in bulk at the bulk barn. Hello. So it was going to be this huge thing with Star Tropics 1 and 2, but the video was getting too long for me to realistically be able to finish in the time I need to. So I'm going to just do Star Tropics 1 this year, and then I'll probably recover Star Tropics 2, like, again, in much greater detail next year. Star Tropics 2 I did on the 1 year anniversary, like 1 year after I made that Star Tropics video. So I'm going to be doing kind of the same thing. In the next coming years, you might see kind of some repeat patterns from my early years. I think that could be kind of fun. For example, not this year, but next year, I really want to make a new video about Vex, because I never 100%ed it. I'm a lot better at janky platformers now. I bet I could beat it. I bet I could beat that freaking final boss, too. I know I say this a lot, but, like, I did beat Bubsy 3D, and when I say that as a point of pride, I mean, like, I was able to play something incredibly frustrating that did not make sense to me, but I was able to finagle my way into the finesse, into the feel of it, and beat it anyway. So I feel like I'm better at that sort of, like, weirdo control recognition at this point. So I feel like a new Vex video, much longer, that's really going to show you the whole thing this time, would be real cool. That's something I want to do next year. Are you going to be good if I put you down? Are you going to be good? Or are you going to start being a tornado again? You little freaking tornado. Yeah, also the Star Tropics video, I'm thinking of not calling it just Star Tropics Nitro Rad, because I like having those simple titles because they're to the point, and when you scroll through all my videos, they're easy to find. But, you know, that whole, like, Scott the Woz ass, like, the this that did that, X, YouTuber the funny, like, that always seems to perform well, I don't know. And I think I could do it this time because it is more than a review. It's like a 1 year special, or 1 year. It's like a 10-year special. The Star Tropics video is like a Nitro Rad special. So I'm thinking about calling it the game that made me love video games. Star Tropics Nitro Rad. Thinking about calling it that. What do you think? Does that stuff click well? Does that stuff make you click? Does that stuff go, there's a story here that I wouldn't have known if the words game made me love game weren't there. Does that make sense to you? You're back on the thing. Get out of there, Hornet. This is what it's like owning cats. My office has been rearranged a little bit. I moved the desk there, and it's not quite cat-proofed yet, so she keeps trying to go up and frick around with shit. And then, right after Star Tropics, I'm finally doing it. I've been practicing? I've been promising a video about this game for a long time. It's a really cool thing that I feel like doesn't get talked about in, like, an informational way enough, like in a way that it's like we're fascinated by this instead of just making jokes about it, is, yeah, this one, LSD Dream Emulator. I've had this one for a very, very long time. It's a game I have a lot of history with. My friends and I back in high school bought the PSN version off of the Japanese PlayStation Network, that we found out how to buy like a Japanese PSN card off eBay and everything. Made an account to do that. And I'm actually replaying it with one of my closest friends from high school that I used to play this with a lot, and we're going through the whole thing. We're going to try and do like all 365 days. I really want to make a really good informational video that shows you like all the interesting bits and pieces in this thing. Basically opens up the box, shows you all of the inserts, shows you that it comes with a soundtrack. I want to show you like basically what is in this thing. I want to show you like everything is in this thing. I also want to explore kind of like the context in which it came out. Hornet, be good. In which it came out, because it was meant to be like supplementary material for like a dream diary, and I really want to like get into that and figure out like, yeah, what is this cool weird thing. And yeah, I also kind of want to explore like the effects of LSD a little bit, because obviously there is some influence from like, you know, psychedelic visuals at the very least in this. And I've spoken with people that have taken LSD, and they've intimately shared in detail their experiences, and it's interesting how much it kind of lines up with the changing textures and like the interpretation of visuals there. I think that's worth bringing up in a way that's interesting, instead of just being like, oh, were they on drugs? This is going to be the furthest video from were they on drugs. This is going to be just a video going right into this, and you'll come out basically knowing everything about it. That's my goal for this video, and I'm finally making it. It's the next thing I'm doing as soon as I'm done this Star Tropics video. I've been considering maybe making a new Yume Nikki video. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but I'm sure I would be able to make a much better one than I did back when I was 19. Like, you could tell that original video is like, yeah, here's a 19-year-old that played an indie game that made him feel stuff, but he doesn't have the language or real-world experience to really properly appreciate why this thing is meaningful, or at least like explain it. So I want to just make a new video appreciating it on both an aesthetic level and a thematic level, but also like a dream level. Like, this game is just a bundle of thoughts that can be interpreted any loose way, and that really is the magic of it. Instead of like pretending the theories I read on the wiki are the correct things, and that's what's probably going on here. No, I don't want to read a wiki. I want to project my own self into this after making it clear, like, yeah, this can be interpreted in many ways. It's almost like a Rorschach test. I don't know, maybe it says something about you, and I could, like, be like, you know, I look at this and I see this, but maybe it's because I'm usually here mentally, or maybe it's because of my experience with this. I think analyzing Yume Nikki in a more way like that, like, obviously on top of showing you the content of the game and my experience with it, but I've been debating making a new Yume Nikki video. I don't know if I'll do that this year, but at the very least, I will do that, like, at some point in the near future, maybe a year or two from now. Sometime. That is something I do want to do. One revisit I do know I'm going to do, though, is Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 3, because, hey, when they remastered the first two and put them on console, like on Switch and stuff, that was a great excuse to revisit those games and kind of view them with my, you know, modern, more analytical and optimistic lens, instead of just, I don't know, trying to clone AVGN and making fun of a game. Which is what my earliest videos were. But, you know, I hope a lot of people have recognized that as time has gone on, I've been far more interested in just being analytical and appreciative of games, because I love games, instead of trying to be a character. I don't care about being the funny tuber guy that you look at, and I'm telling you this, I just care about getting information across at this point. So, a new Ty 3 video. That's not to say we'll be holding back on it. You know, I have had wonderful experiences talking to the developers and the people from Chrome Studios. They're a wonderful and very passionate folk. But I don't want that relationship to impair my ability to properly criticize this thing. So I'm still going to be, you know, poking holes right through it. But it'll be in a more, like, optimistic, fun-loving way. Like, oh, you dumb third one. You know, I'm not going to be pretending it's the worst thing ever so I can have the funny tuber gag of the game I'm scared of that pops up. I'm so far past that. I'm just going to look at it, analyze it, get across what I think does and doesn't work in a less, like, I don't know, I'm a YouTuber way, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But I do want to recover Ty 3, and I feel like I could have a really fun time with that, even if that game is probably going to be a little frustrating to play through. But hey, whatever, you know, that's part of the fun. I'm gonna make a video about this game. This is one of my favorite video games. You've heard music from this game in like almost every Nitro Rad video. All that fucking like, I can't believe I caught that. That like acoustic kind of soft DS sound, like jazzy shit I have in like all my videos. It's all from this game. Well, okay, half of it's from this game. The other half is from the sequel to this game, which only came out in Japan and Europe. Hotel Dusk has a sequel. Did you know that? Last Window. Also on DS, just never came out in North America. I imported it. That was the first game I ever imported, was the sequel to Hotel Dusk. Because the DS wasn't region locked, and, you know, European copyright, so it was in English still. That was the first time I saw, like, one of those thick DS cases. I don't have it down here. It's upstairs. I'm not going to cover the sequel. Maybe I'll cover the sequel someday, but I want to make a Hotel Dusk video this year. I have this idea that I don't know if I'll be able to do. It'll probably just be a regular Nitro Rad video, but I had this fun idea of, like, getting across, like playing the game over breakfast. Like, maybe I film it like a film noir, and it's me and Brady meet for lunch. We would have to get, like, permission to film somewhere. But it's because I used to play this game while I ate breakfast every day. You know, one hand on the touch screen, and then scoop of cereal in my mouth, drink a little bit of juice or whatever, and it's just, you're just using the touch screen, so it's kind of my breakfast game. So I think getting across this whole experience over breakfast would be a fun idea. Hornet's screaming, sorry if you can hear that. I don't know if I will do that, though, because it will require a lot of ambitious resources and getting permission to film places and writing scripts and organizing grip and actors and ambitious. I might do that. I'm not gonna make a single promise. I'm not fucking promising you shit. But it's an idea I had. Might do that. Might just make it a normal video. But either way, I just want to make a video about Hotel Dusk. It's one of my favorite games. Also one of my favorite video game characters. I love Kyle Hyde so much because he is incredibly relatable to me. As just like grumpy nihilist who kind of sees the worst in everybody immediately. Yet at the same time, he feels like that distance he creates with other people, he hates that. He hates that, and that's why he finds himself like a magnet, just attracted to people's problems and scenarios just so he can have a new opinion of this person. And he's always like, why am I doing this? It's like, you know why you're doing it, Kyle, because you don't want to hate people. And I relate to that a lot as a socially anxious, nihilist, kind of grumpy, humorless old fart. But in a way that's like, not really like a critique of that, but it's like it's framed in a very introspective way where that's not just a quality that makes him likable, that's a quality that is challenged, that he deals with. And I don't know, I remember replaying this for footage like probably a year ago for some video. I think I was talking about a low poly vending machine, or was that in the Fear the Spotlight video that never came out? I should talk about that. Yeah, I should talk about that. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, I don't know, replaying a little bit of this, I was like, holy shit, this game's well written. Holy shit, this game's good. So I don't know. At some point, I'll make a Hotel Dusk video. That's one of the plans for this year. And then maybe Silent Hill 2 revisit. God, clothes. Freaking shirt. Maybe a Silent Hill 2 revisit. I wanted to cover that like the month before the remake came out and then cover the remake. I don't think the remake is going to come out this year, so I'm not sure on that. That might be a next year thing. And if not, for the Halloween horror video, I might cover Ecstatica 1 and 2. Might do that. But yeah, those are all really my plans for this year, so I'm not really planning a bunch of videos, because every time I plan a whole bunch of videos, I make half of them and I go, wow, I overpromised shit. I'm going to focus on making those handful of videos really good, and anything else, I'll have the wiggle room to maybe throw something else extra out. Like Crow Country's coming out. I'm definitely going to want to make a quick video about that. Hollow Body as well. Those are both indie horror games I'm super looking forward to. I played the demos for both. Hollow Body actually has the best calendar birth date puzzle I've ever seen in a horror game. Like, there's so many of those. So many, like, find their birthday, type it in, get into the safe. Hollow Body had, like, you know, usually there's just A, copy A, there. Then sometimes you got to do, like, an A and then you got to find B. Hollow Body gives you C. There's an A, B, and then just like a little bit of math, and then it's like, then there's C, and it's like, yo, this is like more layers to this. This was awesome. I was like sitting there scratching my head. I had to bust out like pen and paper. It was like, wow. Dude making Hollow Body knows what the fuck he's doing. Like, that game's gonna be incredible. I also want to play Nightmare Operator and Samurai Unicorn. Those are more over-the-shoulder action horror games, both with like PS1 art styles. Nightmare Operator kind of looks like Mega Man Legends, like the flat, cel-shaded looking anime graphics, but it's all like really cool Japanese monster horror designs. That game looks really cool, and so does Samurai Unicorn, also going for a PS1 style. Very different looking PS1 style though, but also like over-the-shoulder kind of survival horror. Trying to make every bullet shot count. Bullet shot, great language, English games. Trying to make every shot count. I'm looking forward to those two. That's not going to be videos this year. I don't think they're coming out soon. Maybe they are, I don't know. A lot of people... Stop doing that, shirt. A lot of people have asked if I'm going to make a video about Penny's Big Breakaway. I did not include that in the Indie Platformers video because it's like, if everyone's asking me about it, that means everyone knows about it. It already has a lot of Steam reviews. That's a pretty good way of gauging like how many people know about this. It's been advertised in Nintendo Directs, so like in those Indie Platformers videos, it's like, I'm going to focus on stuff people don't know about. I'm trying to boost the indies. I'm trying to get them out there so people can play them, because it's like, there's shit that's amazing. I don't even care at this point. I've literally done that, just, and it's destroyed all the buttons because I thought I was wearing like one of the snap ones and I had to sew them all on. It was this one, actually. Maybe that's what happened. I just didn't sew one back on. I feel like this happened more recently. Anyway, what am I fucking talking about? Shut up, James. I might make a video about Penny's Big Breakaway just because everyone's asking, and just because I know it'll do good, and I'll have an easy rent-paying month of money. That said, though, don't expect me just to validate that, yes, thing good. No, I'm gonna really, like, evaluate that, because it looks like you can do a lot of really crazy stuff, like flippy combo stuff, but it looks like you can do it really easily, and that makes me wonder, like, how much is it, like, actually contributing to a meaningful back and forth that's challenging between you and the level design, and how much is it just like, hey, we made it so anybody can feel like a pro, sort of thing. And I'm not saying there isn't value in one or the other. I just want to kind of, like, mechanically really assess the value of it and, like, who this is targeted for, because I don't think Penny's Big Breakaway really looks like a game for me. You know what I mean? It almost looks like I don't want to say it plays itself, but like to me, where like I kind of need complex movement patterns, or I'm just like, my brain just solves the whole thing in 2 seconds, if you know what I mean. Because I've been playing platformers my entire life, and I'm gonna be 30 this year, so it's like I need a little bit more. But that said, I don't want to just like say it's my way or the highway. This game's not as good as people saying. I want to be like, yeah, if you're this kind of guy, then this is the game for you. But yeah, might do that just because I know it'll do well. Camera died. Better change the battery. All right, and we're back. No, we're out of focus. I hate that it resets the focus whenever the battery dies, and I have to like figure it out again. Luckily, my camera has this thing. You can't see it, but what is in focus gets highlighted in green, which makes it very easy. I never use autofocus, because whenever I see YouTubers use autofocus, they'll be talking and then it just goes like in, out, like all the time, and just use manual focus, get it to the distance that you are standing, and then it doesn't need to change. I guess I basically got across all my plans for this year. What's next on the... I made notes this time, so I actually knew what to talk about, which I probably should do with these sorts of videos. Yeah, what I did like last year. Oh yeah, going over like my original plans for last year. Yeah, so last year I really wanted it to be this year where I was gonna review a bunch of platformers, one per console, starting on NES and going up through to the Wii and maybe doing like PlayStation and stuff, and that was just such an overambitious idea, and all these videos took so long to make. And last year was also a very sad and depressing and unproductive year for me. Like I got less videos than I usually get out last year. I need to put a different shirt on. This is driving me nuts. I don't even think this one's clean. I think it has like a mustard stain on it. It's at the very least covered in cat hair, but you're probably used to seeing me covered in that at this point. You have 3 cats, it's just an inevitability. Everything you own is going to be covered in cat hair. Even your clean clothes that you put in your drawer, because your cats will open your drawers in the middle of the night and sleep on top of your clothes. Like, we literally pull out new clothes out of our frickin', you know, freshly stacked drawers, and they're covered in cat hair from them sleeping in there. It's very funny. So yeah, last year the plans, I ended up getting so far with that, and then it was like, it's the end of the year, time for the horror episode, and then that was kind of a disaster, because I was actually going to cover another game in October. I was making a video about Fear the Spotlight, and then they announced that like, hey, we're going to delist the game, we're going to add a lot to it and improve the heck out of it, and then we're going to re-release it later. And it's like, I just finished a video about this. I can't put out a video showing you this cool game you can't play. So it's like, that video just had to get shelved entirely. That was a whole last video that got to come out, and then I went straight to work on Blue Stinger, which I think Blue Stinger is like one of my favorite videos I've ever made, just because that game is such a wild freaking ride, and I really took the time. I made it a long video. I really wanted to get everything across, so I just kind of kept making video until I feel like I got it all across. And there's still stuff in there that I wish I knew. I didn't know about Red Stinger. Apparently there was going to be a sequel to it, but you know, since the director passed away, it never got made. God, Blue Stinger was so cool. But yeah, then I just kind of like skipped everything. I was like, I'm just gonna do something that I know will do really well. A big ass video about Neopets. So all of these games, not Blue Stinger, but like all of the games I did, like Mischief Makers and Plock and Neopets. Was there one more? There was Addams Family, but that wasn't from the poll. That was like for me. So I did like this poll. Basically, I put in all of the platformers that I could potentially make a video on that I own currently, because I've been collecting obscure platformers for years now. And I'm at a rough financial point in my life where I feel like I gotta stop buying games for a while, but I have a lot of stuff right now to cover, so that's fine. So I did a big poll, gauging interest just in general, what a lot of those things were, and Plock came out on top. I did Plock. I thought that Plock video was great. I went all out with that whole John Wick bit. I invited like all my friends over. Shout out to Robbie, doing an amazing job on the camera. Holy shit. I can't believe how well it turned out. That took us like 12 takes to get right. Brandon and Brady were playing the little, I don't know, Metal Gear guards coming down the hallway, and they actually knocked themselves over and over, and they were like physically in pain. I was like, guys, you don't have to like really throw yourself into this, but like I got friends that are just so committed to making the bit work really well, and I'm like incredibly lucky, like, because I felt bad. They were in pain by the end of it. Another funny thing about that Plock John Wick bit is I'm starting to lose my hair on the top of my head a little bit. Can't really notice it too bad there. Well, maybe you can. But either way, in that bird's eye view with the length my hair was at, it just looked like I had a huge distracting bald spot on the whole time. And I knew that, like, I can't put this much effort into a bit just for people to get distracted by something easy to mock, because, you know, comments are going to be full of like, your hair is blah 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 and going bald, which is like, I don't care if people make fun of me for that. I kind of was a little like, I don't know about it for like a good year, and now I've accepted it and don't really care. If I lose my hair, I lose my hair, whatever. You're the ones that have to look at me. You're the losers, I'm the winner. But anyway, God, I actually motion tracked, and if you look for it, you can see it. I motion tracked a colored graphic over it, and used like a layer, composite style, whatever they're called in After Effects, and tracked it over it just to make it look like I had a full head of hair. And it's like, if you look closely, you'll see it. But I really wanted to sell that, and I didn't want like a comically distracting aspect of it, because it really stuck out. I really wanted to sell the bit, so I did everything I could for that, and it turned out freaking awesome. But I think a big part of like why my output was so bad last year is because I've realized I really do not click with 2D side scrollers as much. Like, I like playing them sometimes, but I'm not as good at making a video about it. Now, the Addams Family video was different, because that was me finally doing something I wanted, and that video is more of like, there's barely anything to the game, so you get across that in 2 seconds, and then it's just like me taking you through the whole experience of beating it. So that was a very different type of video that I really enjoyed making. But Plock and Mischief Makers, like, those are great games, and I feel like I made great videos about them, but I just had such a hard time like staying invested in it and getting myself into the office and working on them, and I had such bad writer's block with both of those, because it was like, I don't really know how to make 2D games as interesting, and it felt like I had to rewrite stuff over and over. I felt like I was just saying nothing about it, or how do I make this interesting, and I just had a hard time, like, I don't know, staying with it, and those videos ended up taking like way longer, despite not even being like some of the longer videos I put out last year. So that's an unfortunate realization about myself. I really do have to stick to 3D games if I want to stay focused, because that's, again, I just want to make videos. Am I slightly out of focus? I want to make videos about stuff I can make the most sense out of. The things that I can explain the best, the things that I can get across the best. And if I don't have a personal connection to the game like I do with Adam's Family, I'm not saying I did a bad job covering Mischief Makers, but it's like it was really hard to get myself to work on that video, because it was like, I don't know if I just wasn't interested. It's like the source material was interesting, and it was like really great to learn about it and explain it, but it's like, I don't know, something about 2D games. I just found myself so much harder to stay invested in making the videos. So I'm gonna try and stick with more 3D stuff, because I work better with that. And when I'm writing, in the writing process especially, is where I had the most trouble. I feel like it just really comes out of me and just right into the page. Really comes, yeah. Fucking just pause on that one, James. That's a great language English. I'm wording out, bro. Last year was very depressing for me in general. Like, I just felt so unmotivated. I know I talked about like mental health stuff like last year, and you know, I didn't really do any of the stuff I said I might do, like seeing therapy or like, I don't know. I just never did. But, you know, I have had a lot of conversations with people who have had similar experiences, and a lot of, I have had some real advice from people who've been kind enough to reach out. And also, I've had a lot of people reach out. If you reached out to me after that whole thing and I didn't reply, I apologize. I'm really socially anxious, and like, I get kind of overwhelmed when people like, I don't know, like the rules of social shit, because I'm a freaking idiot. So I don't know. Some things I like didn't reply to after like so much time passed. I was like, oh, I should have replied to that. But I just want to let you know, like, if anyone did reach out and I didn't reply, like, I sincerely appreciate like the kind words and kind of like the uplifting, sharing experiences and everything, and that I really do appreciate that. I have been trying to take a little bit more care of myself. Hornet, you're screaming. I have been trying to take better care of myself based on a lot of the advice I have gotten. A lot of people said you don't necessarily need this and that. I'm not trying to like say don't do that if that's right for you, but you know, for me it was just out of laziness, me not helping myself. But the things that I have done to help myself, I've noticed a difference. I've been actively trying to exercise more, and that's one thing I do say, but I feel like me and my wife have been very good at just walking almost every night, at least for like 20 minutes. I've also been making a lot of excuses just to go to the grocery store, because it's like an hour, 20-minute walk there and back. But it's like, if we need like one thing, fuck it, excuse to walk. I'm gonna walk there and back, and I've been feeling really good, just trying to get myself moving a lot more. And also, like, a big part of like me not working a lot last year was just like, I don't know, I just have no motivation to like, get out of bed or like get out of the living room. And lately, I've been just making impulse decisions, just get myself in the office, get myself at the desk, get myself in, just put it in front of me. And even if I don't get a lot done, I find just from doing that, I have been consistently getting work done every day. So I have done some things that have helped a lot. Trying to eat better. Been trying to eat better too. Really cutting back on Uber Eats. You don't realize how much that shit adds up until you look at your credit card and get out the calculator and realize how much you're spending a month on that. So we've tried to cut Uber out entirely. Not to say that we ever really over ordered, but it's like getting Uber maybe twice a week. Or even once a week, that still adds up. And we're trying to save money on groceries, because again, food prices are still skyrocketing. The cost of living is still going up. Things have been harder than ever. So we've been really trying to make a lot of financial conscious choices. We've been getting all of our meat from local meat markets, because Loblaw, the owners of like half the grocery stores here, and also Superstore as well, whoever owns them. Whereas Loblaw, Superstore, Sobeys, whatever. Either way, if you get your meat from like chicken or steak or whatever, or beef, anything from like just one of the main grocery stores, like where it's convenient, where everyone shops, you're gonna be paying like 4 times more than it's freaking worth. But we found local meat markets that we've been able to. It's a freaking ways out there, but it's like you gotta really get yourself out there if you want to save money. Unfortunately, in this economy, shit sucks. But yeah, I've been also trying to make more economic conscious choices and more health conscious choices, and you know, they kind of go together. We've been making better stir fries. We've been trying vegetables that we don't try before. You know, we've been trying a lot of bok choy, been trying a lot of radishes, and just introducing more healthy things into the meals we make. I feel like has also been helping. So, you know, it's easily not a substitute for real therapy or finding real help. But I have, you know, in my lazy, I'm terrible at taking care of myself brain, I have found a couple of small things that have made a little bit of a difference at the very least. Again, I'm not telling you to worry about me. I'm just YouTube funny, man. You don't know me, I don't know you, and that's that. But, you know, people do act concerned, and I do appreciate that. And, you know, of course, like, my mental well-being affects what I make, which is the part that you watch. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, that did affect my output last year, and that is a big reason why I put out less videos than usual last year, and that also affected me financially. So it's kind of like a big circle that I'm trying to tighten up and solve so I can just be better off in general. So wish me luck. That's another one of my goals for this year. Keep eating better, keep exercising more, and really get back on a good steady pace where I don't have to worry about money as much, and I'm getting more done, and I'm happier. That's where I'm gonna try to get to this year. I was talking about like all the polled platformers. So yeah, that poll, I'm still going to use that poll to measure interest in what I cover in the future. So like this year is going to be a lot of big things I want to do. This coming year is going to be a lot of special videos because it's my 10th anniversary. But afterwards, when I go back to, anytime I go back to reviewing old obscure 3D platformers, which is going to be all the time, the ones from the poll will be the ones that I try to focus on more. Like iNinja, for example, is long overdue. Lots of stuff like that I've had for a long time that I really want to recover. That I really want to cover. It's Vex I want to recover, but that, again, that'll be next year. Camera died again. I gotta let these batteries charge longer. God damn. This shit takes forever. I mean, it's just me. It's still just me. Like sometimes my wife will help with like the B-roll a little bit here and there, but overall, like writing, recording, playing through it, editing all together, it's just me. I don't have any editors, nothing. I can't afford that. And it takes forever. And, you know, I also don't want people to edit my stuff for me because I want my videos to feel like, I don't know, I'm getting it across, and I need to direct, work on, and put together, and I'm constantly changing things and re-recording stuff, and I just write a script, record it all, send it off, and then it becomes whatever. It's like, I don't want my videos to be that. I'm not dunking on nobody that does do that, but it's like, I don't know, I just don't want this to be a kind of like, the world wants me to be a machine, but I'm only ever gonna try and make shit I really want to. I've tried to be a machine last year, like that Resident Evil 4, like, unscripted thing. It got a bad response. I didn't like making it. It felt terrible putting that out. I hate that I feel that way. It's because, like, life's harder when you do, and I don't know. I don't want at all to inspire any sort of virtuism coming from, I work harder than other people. And this is more being like, man, sucks being a stubborn old fool. But hey, at least I make stuff I can be proud of, I guess. I don't know. I hate that these things aren't compatible because of the way the world fucking sucks ass. I guess now would be a decent time to plug the Patreon. I have still been doing a podcast monthly with Brady. It's not really the most on-time podcast. There's been times where it's been hard to organize. I'm such a scatterbrained fool that I can't really do things on a consistent basis, as you've probably known from people say, like, great upload schedule. It's like, what upload schedule? I upload when it's done. I hate the word upload. People go, upload already. It's like, I need to make a whole video before I have something to upload. Like, people act like they don't know that. I don't want to say people. I'm sure it's just a vocal minority, but it's like, when you see the same sorts of comments enough times, it's just like, man, what is this to other people? Man, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, things have been tough financially, so I will plug the Patreon. If you would like to support the channel and make my life a little bit less stressful, I have been doing a $1 podcast with my friend Brady for many, many years. It's still going. That's all the Patreon really is. It's $1 and you get our monthly podcast. I know it's not much, but it's like, I don't want to just take money for free, so I got to make something in response. And that's why, like, I hate it when people throw around the word paywall. People love to, like, if they can't get anything for free, it's like, this guy paywalls his content. It's like, what's the alternative? That you give me free money? Well, that's not right. So what are you talking about? I don't know. People act like everything should be free and that people who make stuff shouldn't make money. And it's like, I'm sorry, the world doesn't work that way. So that said, I've been considering doing more with the Patreon, maybe having like a $5 tier where maybe I could do editing vlogs where it's just like for an hour, each video, it's just like, hey, I just start recording me editing in the middle of it. I'm telling you about what the goal of the video is, and you know, making some edits and kind of showing you the little bit of the process. I think that could be maybe a decent thing. Might be something I do, might be not something I do. I don't know. Depends on how good I am at having initiative and being alive this year. Been pretty bad at that lately. We'll see. All I'm saying, in this economy, a homie's got to grind before the grinder grinds the homie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you understand. I'm sorry that there's might be more stuff that everyone doesn't get to watch. You have to like pay money for it, but it's like, if that's what I have to do to survive, that's probably what I have to do. I'd rather do that over taking sponsors. And again, I don't want to be like, sponsors ruin videos, but it's just like, I don't really want them in there. Just, you know, just for my own personal reasons. I don't know. It just feels weird. And I don't know, I've considered it, like, if I could find sponsors for, like, stuff that I actually use, stuff that I actually know is good, you know, I don't want to just shill anything, but it's also, like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do anything. I just make videos. I have a film degree, I know how to make videos, that's it. I have no life skills. Don't look up to me, I'm a fucking moron. I need to be motivated. I gotta take care of myself, I gotta close that loop of unproductiveness and work on stuff I really care about. So yeah, that is the goal for this year. It being my 10th anniversary, I'm gonna be working on stuff I really care about, and hopefully that's just gonna, I don't know, spur a new wind of getting productive stuff done and stay into it. And the battery died again. I got across what I'm doing, what I did, how I'm doing, right? Did that all get across? Did I get that across to you? I hope you enjoyed listening to this update video. Sorry there was ads on it. I kind of need to do that right now, but hopefully I will be able to swing back around, make some stuff. And what should I say at the end? Oh, one thing I want to mention, I changed the background. Finally changed that ugly, stupid looking, like green and blue gradient that is, I don't know, what do you think? What do you think of the new background? I wanted something darker, less intrusive feeling, less bright. It's something that kind of narrows your vision into the center of frame. That's kind of why I have the grid. I kind of just made it like the end slate, and I wanted to have a more consistent look that isn't just as garish. I know I've seen a lot of people like say, I don't see the point in YouTubers having these borders, just make it black. It's like, yeah, well, I need to brand my videos in some way. I need some sort of spice, some sort of something where you look at a video made by me and immediately, no matter what's on screen, you know it's this video, right? Like, that's something that makes sense to me. Let me know how you see it. Hopefully the new background's easier on the eyes. I can't believe I used that one as long as I did the green one. Like, I really hated it for a long time, but again, I'm just terrible at creating the initiative to do stuff. I find myself just in that meaningless looping limbo of just doing stuff and not really being as into it. But yeah, I hope that's, again, this year I'm covering just stuff I really care about. Hopefully I'll get out of that rut. At least a little bit more. Also, if you do want to support the channel and you don't want to do the Patreon stuff, whether it's not interesting to you, or you don't want to give me money, or you can't, or whatever, like, that's fine. You can also just support the channel just by clicking the like button on the videos, and also by leaving a comment. Now, I don't ever ask people to do that because it's like so cliche, and I find it like really annoying when you just like, you see the little reminder, like that's the people stick that graphic in the beginning, and it's like, I hate that. I don't want my videos to be that. I don't want my videos to tell you what to do. But that is something good to keep in mind if you do want to help the channel's performance and you want to help my videos do better, and by extension help me a lot. So yeah, if you could just remember to like click like on them if you like the video, and then leave a comment, even if it's anything. Yeah. Not going to remind you that much, but I will in these update videos, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thanks for hearing me out. Thanks for listening to me talk about a whole bunch of nothing for a little bit. Thank you for tolerating the ads on this video, unless you use AdBlock, that's fine. I don't care. But you know, sorry about that. I really appreciate you sticking with this channel, and I really appreciate like the amount of people that have stuck with the channel for very long. I cannot state that enough. I know I kind of say the same thing every year and every time, but it's, you know, it's like I cannot say it enough that it's like incredible that a lot of people continue to support the show, even like when videos don't do well. Over a couple of days, I still got a lot of like upticks from people just like checking and going to check, and people like really retweeting the heck out of it and really trying to show the support. Like, I sincerely appreciate all of it, and yeah, none of this would be possible without that. And you know, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm where I want to be. Again, I have been struggling a little bit with money and stuff, but like, I have that. And I would be a fool not to make the best of it, and I really want to let that motivate me. So yeah, climb out of the rut and make good on what I have, because what I have is really fucking special, and not very many people get that. So yeah, thanks, I guess, but it's not about the thank you, it's about I need to do better, and I sure as fuck gonna try. Welcome to the kitty cat part of the video. I figured I'd do this on the floor this time, so I'm not awkwardly picking them up, especially because Pickles hates being picked up. So I'm just gonna get out some treats so they all come to me this time. There's Hornet. Hi, Hornet. There you go, Hornet. Treat for you right there. Hornet's so polite. She, like, doesn't know it's hers. Look, she'll walk away. It's like, that must be for my brother. No, Hornet. Hornet, that's for you. That's for you. You eat that, see? And you have to pet her. She doesn't know. You show her. Like, you have to pet her. She doesn't know. And she still doesn't know that treat's for her. You like treats. It's for you, Hornet. Okay. Pickles. There's a treat for you. There's Mr. Pickles. He's our little Black Panther. He's very shy. He's very sweet. This is the snuggle addict. He will just sit in the hallway and wail and just... It sounds like the worst thing ever happened to him. You know what's happening is he didn't get snuggles is what's happening. So Mr. Pickles will always go up on top of the fridge and demand that I snuggle him. We have to put him on timeout sometimes, try to discourage that behavior. This little guy right here, this little tiger, likes to mountain climb on us when we're sleeping. Like, every morning we wake up to this guy climbing all over us like we're Mount Everest. Yeah, they all get along very well. I think we did a good job of, like, raising them all. Hornet. Hornet, that one's for you. That's for you. We call him Boo-Bah more than we call him Bling, so don't even look at me. He looks like a Boo-Bah. He looks like a big, blobby idiot. Hornet, that's for you. That's for you, sweetie girl. That's for you. Hornet, that's for you. And she's, I don't know why she's being so weird about it. Yeah, sure, you can eat it. Alright, well, that's it for little treats, guys. Hello, Pickles. Are you being a good boy? He's so chirpy. Like, I'll just wake up and I'll come out into the steps and he'll just be standing there and be like, Marr! Big cat tip, don't waste money on cat toys. They don't care about anything. They'll just get stuff at the dollar store and then eventually they'll find something. Hornet, why don't you come out of that, Hornet girl? But I love being a little kitty cat dad. These kitty cats bring me a lot of joy. I think we took very, very extra special care taking care of these guys and raising them, so they're all very kind and polite to each other. Blinks can just be a little bit much when he's playing, but other than that, I think we raise really good kitty cats. They bring me joy every single day. I usually go to sleep with Hornet just sleeping at her feet. Usually she'll, like, play with the blankets when they're, like, underneath, like cat and mouse or whatever you call that. She always, like, attacks our hands underneath the blankets, so we like playing with her like that. She used to be so sharp. I mean, she still is pretty sharp, but she's gotten very good at trying to not cut us with her claws anymore. And there's something really cool about having an animal start to respect your boundaries after you've respected its for so long. So I love my kitty cats. They bring me a lot of joy every day. Very happy to be a proud cat father. And yeah, that's this update video. Hope I got everything across. Hopefully this all made sense. Hopefully you know what is coming soon. And with that, the video's over.